Hello, I'm Glenn Lyons. I'm the Mott MacDonald Professor of Future Mobility at UWE Bristol. There's a lot of focus at the moment, of course, on what the future of mobility might entail. But I think of equal importance is for us to examine what the future of planning for the future of mobility should involve and what change might be required in terms of our transport planning approach. I think many would share the view that at the moment we're facing a sense of deep uncertainty about the future. Uncertainty created by significant behaviour change going on affecting the transport sector, but also multiple technological innovations that are unfolding. One might also refer to that as steep uncertainty because there really are multiple factors, social, technological, economic, environmental and political drivers that are shaping the future in uncertain ways. But the uncertainty does offer also opportunity for us to be agents of change in shaping the future if we can define the right approach to doing so. For the last years and perhaps decades, the approach in transport planning has been what one might refer to as operating in a forecast-led paradigm. We've looked in the rearview mirror and understood what has been unfolding and used that as a guide for projecting forwards to anticipate what might lie ahead. That's increasingly vulnerable or limited in the face of deep uncertainty. What we therefore feel is important to have now is a vision-led approach to strategic planning for an uncertain world. The approach that we've adopted between the University of the West of England and Mott MacDonald in partnership is to define and set out a 6-stage approach to strategic planning that we've called Futures. Futures stands for Future Uncertainty Toolkit for understanding and responding to an evolving society. The first stage we've called Gearing Up. We appreciate that a new approach will be challenging, and there's a need for you and other actors involved with the approach to open your minds to what it represents and the possibilities that it could offer, and see whether you're comfortable in going on a journey with Futures. Assuming that's the case, we move on to Stage 2, which is called Preferred Futures. This is about you defining where you would like to head, your preferred future, your vision for the future. There may be more than one vision, of course, hence the plurality of preferred futures, and it's therefore about converging upon a shared vision for the future we would like to see realised. With that in place, we move on to Stage 3, which we've called Opening Out. Since we're not in total control of shaping the future, we have to understand the uncertainty that faces us. Opening Out, therefore, is about developing a set of plausible futures within which we need to operate in developing and pursuing our vision. That takes us on to Stage 4, which is about option generation and sifting, identifying the means by which we could take steps to start shaping the future towards realising our vision. Crucially then, moving on to Stage 5, we need to bring together the plausible futures identified with the options that we're considering for realising our vision and see how those options perform in those different plausible futures, stress testing, if you like, whether those options are fit for purpose and going to help deliver our vision. With that in place, that further allows you to determine the options that should go forwards into your strategy and give you confidence that you have a more resilient approach within that strategy to moving towards your vision. The strategy then being put in place takes us to Stage 6, the final stage, which really isn't final because it's the review stage, which is an ongoing process of monitoring the changing world around us as the uncertainty becomes clearer and unfolds, and in turn considering whether or not elements of the strategy need reviewing and revising to remain fit for purpose. Particularly with regard to both the vision formulation but also the options we identify, we should have in mind that we're not simply dealing with transport planning, but as we would call it, triple access planning. Ultimately, transport planning is about how to improve access to people, goods, services and opportunities in society. That underpins economic prosperity, social well-being and environmental sustainability. Yes, the transport system can do that through physical mobility, and indeed the land use system can also do it in terms of how we design our land use and redesign it to take advantage of proximity to those things we wish to access. And finally, we have a rapidly matured telecommunications system that now provides digital access. Taken together then, we need to see them as a whole, the triple access system. Taking forwards futures as a new approach to strategic planning is challenging and maybe uncomfortable for some of you, but we believe it's the right approach to take. Part of this is about recognising that where we've been shouldn't dictate too strongly where we're going. As the saying goes, if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Now is the time for us in the transport planning sector to evolve our toolbox, our toolkit, so that we are better equipped for approaching the future of mobility in a more effective way. Thank you.